In the celestial hierarchy of angels, there exists one whose very name whispers of divine mysteries. This is Archangel Raziel, whose name means secret of God, or mystery of God in Hebrew. This archangel stands at the threshold between the knowable and the unknowable, serving as the keeper of all heavenly secrets and the recorder of divine wisdom. Today, we journey into the enigmatic realm of Raziel, the Angel of Secrets, exploring the ancient texts, legends, and teachings that have preserved his story for millennia. Raziel's origins trace back to Jewish mystical tradition, particularly within the texts of Kabbalah. He appears prominently in the Sefer Raziel HaMalach, or the Book of Raziel the Angel, a medieval grimoire that claims to contain the knowledge Raziel revealed to humanity. According to tradition, Raziel stands so close to the divine throne that he can hear and understand all the secrets and mysteries proclaimed before God. The archangel is described as having an extraordinarily close position to God, closer than almost any other angel. This proximity allows him to overhear the conversations of the divine and to understand the deepest workings of the universe. In Kabbalistic tradition, Raziel is often associated with the second Sephira on the Tree of Life, which represents divine wisdom. This placement emphasizes his role as a conduit of primordial knowledge flowing from the infinite into comprehensible form. What makes Raziel unique among the angelic hosts is his specific duty. He records all knowledge, both earthly and heavenly, in a book. This tome contains the entirety of cosmic wisdom, including the secrets of creation itself, the workings of the spheres, the paths of understanding, and knowledge that existed even before the formation of the world. Medieval Jewish mystics believed that to access Raziel's wisdom was to touch the very fabric of reality. The most famous legend surrounding Raziel centers on a book, not just any book, but the book that would change humanity's relationship with divine knowledge forever. According to the tradition preserved in various midrashic sources and later Kabbalistic texts, after Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden, they found themselves in a world suddenly harsh and unfamiliar. They had lost their direct communion with the divine and no longer understood the workings of creation around them. Seeing their distress and confusion, God sent Raziel to Adam with a gift, a book containing profound secrets. This book is called the Sefer Raziel HaMalach, or the Sefer Raziel, which translates to as the Book of Raziel the Angel. The Sefer Raziel describes this moment as an act of divine mercy. In this book were inscribed the workings of the cosmos, the movements of the stars and planets, the names of angels, the secrets of healing, the nature of the soul, knowledge of future events, and the mysteries of creation itself. The legend tells us that when Adam received this book, he gained understanding of the world he now inhabited. He could name the animals, understand the properties of plants, predict the seasons, and comprehend his place in the cosmic order. The knowledge wasn't meant to return him to paradise, but to help him, and through him, all of humanity to navigate existence outside of it. But the story doesn't end there. According to tradition, the other angels grew jealous of humanity receiving such profound wisdom. They felt that these secrets should remain in heaven, not be given to mortal beings. In their jealousy, these angels stole the book and cast it into the ocean. God, however, commanded the angel Rahab, prince of the sea, to retrieve the book and return it to Adam. This part of the legend emphasizes an important theological point. Divine wisdom, once given, cannot be permanently withheld from those meant to receive it. The book was said to have been passed down through the generations. Adam gave it to his son Seth, who passed it to Enoch. Enoch, who walked with God, according to Genesis, used the book's wisdom to learn the mysteries that would eventually be recorded in the texts attributed to him. From Enoch, the book passed to Noah, who used its knowledge to build the ark according to precise divine specifications. Later, it came to Abraham, who used it to understand monotheism and the covenant, and eventually to Solomon, who employed its wisdom to build the temple and command spirits. What exactly did Raziel's book contain? The medieval text Sefer Raziel HaMalach, compiled in the 13th century, gives us insights into the kinds of knowledge attributed to the angel. The text is divided into sections covering different areas of secret wisdom. The book contains extensive angelology, the names, functions, and seals of angels that govern various aspects of creation. It includes detailed cosmology, explaining the structure of the heavens, the arrangement of the celestial spheres, and the movements of stars and planets. There are sections on gematria, the mystical interpretation of Hebrew letters and their numerical values, which was believed to reveal hidden meanings in sacred texts. Practical mysticism fills many pages: instructions for creating amulets, prayers for protection, methods of meditation, and techniques for spiritual ascension. The text includes knowledge of the sacred names of God, 72 names derived from 3 verses in Exodus, each believed to hold specific powers when properly understood and invoked. Particularly fascinating are the sections on the workings of nature, the properties of stones, herbs, and metals, the influences of astronomical bodies on earthly events, and the hidden connections between all things in creation. This wasn't mere superstition, but represented an integrated worldview where everything in creation was interconnected through divine wisdom. The Sefer Raziel also contains discussions of the human soul, its origin, its structure with multiple levels, its journey after death, and its ultimate purpose. For medieval mystics, this knowledge was essential for understanding one's spiritual path and destiny. In mystical literature, Raziel is described as having wings that span the entirety of heaven. Some traditions describe him as being surrounded by an aura of blue light, representing both wisdom and the celestial realm. He is often depicted holding a book or scroll, his most recognizable attribute, symbolizing the knowledge he guards and dispenses. Raziel's primary role is that of herald and teacher. He announces divine mysteries and makes accessible to those deemed worthy the secrets that allow humans to understand their relationship with the divine. Unlike angels who serve as warriors or messengers of specific decrees, Raziel's mission is educational and revelatory. He bridges the gap between divine omniscience and human understanding. In the angelic hierarchy described in Kabbalistic texts, Raziel is often listed among the highest-ranking angels, sometimes associated with the order of cherubim, or placed in his own unique category due to his special proximity to the divine throne. The 13th century mystic Abraham Abulafia wrote about Raziel as the angel who governs the second heaven and serves as the prince of the region closest to divine wisdom. There's a beautiful paradox in Raziel's nature. He is the keeper of secrets, yet his purpose is revelation. He guards the mysteries not to hoard them, but to ensure they're revealed at the right time, to the right individuals, in the right way. This makes him not a gatekeeper who bars entry, but a guide who determines readiness. Beyond the story of Adam, several legends feature Raziel's interventions in human affairs. One tradition holds that Raziel appeared to Noah in dreams, teaching him the precise dimensions and construction methods for the ark. The unusual specificity of the biblical measurements, 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high, was said to have come from Raziel's instruction, based on sacred geometry that would allow the vessel to withstand the flood. Another legend connects Raziel to the patriarch Abraham. When Abraham was called to leave his homeland and embrace monotheism, he struggled to understand the nature of the one God versus the many deities worshipped around him. According to this tradition, Raziel appeared to Abraham and revealed to him the inner workings of creation, showing how all things emanate from a single divine source. This knowledge strengthened Abraham's faith and gave him the wisdom to teach others. King Solomon's wisdom, legendary throughout the ancient world, was also attributed partly to Raziel's instruction. The medieval text, Testament of Solomon, describes how Solomon received knowledge of commanding spirits and demons, which he used in building the temple. While this text doesn't explicitly name Raziel, later Kabbalistic commentaries connected this wisdom to the secrets contained in Raziel's book, which had been passed down to Solomon through the generations. In Jewish mystical practice, particularly among the Hasidim of Eastern Europe, Raziel's name appeared in amulets worn for protection and wisdom. Women in childbirth would have amulets inscribed with Raziel's name and seal, believing his protection extended over vulnerable moments of life's transitions. Scholars studying sacred texts would invoke Raziel's name in prayers, asking for insight into difficult passages and hidden meanings. The influence of Raziel extended deeply into practical Kabbalah. Medieval Jewish mystics developed elaborate systems for accessing the wisdom associated with this angel. These weren't casual practices but required intense preparation. fasting, ritual purification, meditation, and often seclusion. The technique called ascending through the palaces, or Merkava mysticism, involved meditative journeys through celestial realms. Practitioners believed that by properly preparing themselves and knowing the correct names and seals, they could ascend through 7 heavenly palaces, encountering various angels at each level. Raziel was often invoked at the beginning of such journeys, asked to open the gates of understanding and protect the mystic during their spiritual ascent. Color symbolism associated with Raziel typically involved blue or rainbow hues, representing the spectrum of divine wisdom and the connection between heaven and earth. Some traditions associated him with specific stones, particularly sapphire, which in biblical tradition adorned the divine throne, and clear quartz, representing clarity of divine understanding. The prayers and invocations addressed to Raziel found in mystical texts emphasize themes of revelation, understanding, and protection during the pursuit of hidden knowledge. They acknowledge human limitations while expressing the deep human yearning to understand the mysteries of existence and come closer to divine truth. Raziel, the Angel of Secrets, represents humanity's eternal quest for understanding, the desire to comprehend the universe's workings, our place within it, and the nature of the divine itself. His legends remind us that wisdom is both a gift and a responsibility, that sacred knowledge exists to elevate and transform rather than merely to impress or control. From the Garden of Eden to medieval study houses, from ancient legends to mystical practices, Raziel has stood as the symbol of accessible transcendence, the promise that the deepest truths of existence aren't forever locked away, but can be revealed to those who sincerely seek them. His book, whether understood literally or metaphorically, represents the possibility that humans can understand the cosmos, that reality is knowable, and that wisdom is the bridge between the human and the divine. In the end, Raziel teaches us that there are secrets worth keeping and mysteries worth revealing, and wisdom lies in knowing the difference. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope you enjoyed it, and please leave a comment sharing your thoughts. I hope to see you again soon with another story.